After finishing my page of snowdrop illustrations, I naturally felt drawn to their often confused relatives, snowflakes. So I dedicated a new page to exploring different species within the Leucojum genus and also Acis genus because those two different genera of plants usually are commonly called snowflakes. Just like with the snowdrops, I aimed to create a composition that felt like a vintage botanical illustration, focusing on variety in shape and structure. Snowflakes tend to have a more rounded and open form, and I wanted to capture that while experimenting with subtle differences among the species. This study was also a way for me to observe them more closely and continue building my visual library of plant forms for future design and concept art ideas. When I first started studying snowdrops, I kept coming across the name snowflake as well, and at first I thought these were just another name for the same flower, but soon I realized that snowflakes are a separate group of plants, closely related to snowdrops, yet quite distinct once you get to know them. That curiosity led me into this new page of studies, and now I've spent more time observing their structure and reading about them. I feel like I can finally recognize the difference between the two. One of the main things I learned is that while snowdrops typically bloom in late winter or very early spring and have shorter outer petals with smaller inner segments marked with green, snowflakes have 6 equally sized tepals, each often tipped with a green or yellow dot, giving them a more balanced bell-like shape. They also tend to be taller and more upright in their growth. There are different types of snowflakes across the seasons. The spring snowflake, which blooms around the same time as snowdrops but has a fuller, rounder appearance. The summer snowflake, which can grow quite tall and blooms a little later in spring and early summer. And the autumn snowflake, which surprised me the most as I didn't expect a snowflake to bloom in the fall. Studying these seasonal varieties helped me understand how a single genus can offer subtle variations across time and place. What seemed like small differences at first, like tepal shape, blooming period, and plant size, are now meaningful visual cues I can identify. Drawing them helped me learn their forms in a much more intuitive way. Before, I might have looked at a flowering bulb and guessed it was a snowdrop, but now I feel like I have a better eye and could confidently say that's a snowflake, or at least know what to look for. But the varieties will still challenge me. I don't think I can easily identify between a summer or winter snowflake. This kind of close observation is something I really enjoy, and it also supports my goals in concept art and world building. Maybe this will help me building believable and nuanced plant life since I'm learning from real world diversity. The Leucojum genus is a small but charming group of bulbous plants. They can be distinguished by their larger bell-shaped flowers that hang from arching stems, typically featuring 6 equal tepals with green or yellow markings at the tips. These plants are native to Europe and parts of the Middle East, favoring moist habitats like woodlands, meadows, and riverbanks. What makes Leucojum particularly interesting is their combination of grace and structure. Their nodding, symmetrically blooms give them a fairy tale-like feel, while their adaptability to damp, shaded environments adds to their appeal in garden settings. As I studied them more closely, I came to appreciate how distinct they are from snowdrops, despite superficial similarities. Their larger stature and the timing of their blooms offer variety within the family of early season flowering bulbs, making them a valuable subject for botanical illustration and inspiring additions to imaginative world building and concept design. There is also the Acis genus that is closely related to Leucojum and Galanthus. For a long time, many species now recognized as Acis were included under the Leucojum genus, but botanical research and morphological studies have since separated them into their own group. At first glance, Acis flowers may resemble smaller snowflakes or even snowdrops, but they're distinct in several subtle and interesting ways. Still, most Acis species are also commonly called snowflakes. These plants tend to have more delicate, slender features with thin, grassy foliage and petite bell-shaped flowers, usually white or pale pink, depending on the species. Unlike Leucojum, their flowers typically lack the green or yellow markings on the tips of the tepals, which give them a simpler, more understated look. Acis species often bloom in late summer or autumn, making them stand out from their winter or spring blooming relatives. One of the most well-known examples is Acis autumnalis, which produces graceful white blooms in the dry heat of late summer or early fall. This timing gives them a unique ecological niche and adds seasonal variety to the bulbous flowering landscape. Most Acis plants are native to southern Europe and North Africa, thriving in Mediterranean climates with dry summers and mild, wet winters. This makes them ideal for rock gardens or naturalistic plantings in similar climates. As I studied the Acis genus, I was drawn to their quiet beauty and seasonal contrast. These plants have a refined charm that grows on you the more time you spend with them, and their minimalistic form and gentle bloom period offer a new rhythm to the seasonal life of bulbous plants. I was really happy with how this page turned out. Working on different species of snowflakes through quick studies allowed me to explore their forms from multiple angles and perspectives. By focusing on similar looking flowers, I could compare their subtle differences and push myself to capture their character with simplified, efficient brushwork. These kinds of exercises not only help me learn from nature, but also serve a larger purpose in my creative journey. My ultimate goal is to get better at drawing from imagination and designing a world of my own, and I believe that careful observation and repeated studies like this will form the foundation for that. It's a satisfying process studying what's real in order to dream up something new, and these pages are small but meaningful steps toward that future. So I will continue making these studies, and I hope to see you in the next one.